Anthem is Bioware's latest upcoming game. Set for release in early 2019, this third-person action-packed game with RPG and online multiplayer elements bears a very heavy burden and it is desperate to succeed. This video will show and tell you everything that we know about Anthem so far. Stay tuned. Developed by Bioware and published by Electronic Arts, Anthem is an upcoming online multiplayer third-person action game with RPG elements, and it's a brand new universe created from scratch by Bioware. Anthem will be available for all major platforms: PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The game was originally planned to be released in 2018, but unexpected delays, more on that later, forced a new launch date, currently only scheduled as early 2019. The game was revealed to be in development back in 2014 by Bioware Edmonton, the original Bioware studio, during E3. During 2017's E3 event, the game was officially announced with a short trailer and a 7 minutes long gameplay video demo, which you're currently watching in the background. Much like all other recent games from under EA's hood in the past few years, Anthem will also be powered by the famous Frostbite game engine. This is usually good news, however last year's Mass Effect Andromeda was somewhat an exclusion to the rule thanks to the poor optimization for the PC port. The gameplay combines third-person shooter and action role-playing elements, all set in the new continuous open world that you can share with up to 3 other players, and you will operate as a freelancer using special exosuits called javelins. These will most likely be able to be modified in depth, thus allowing for some sort of class diversification and different roles in each team of players. The official description for the new giant open world is that it's going to be a shared world. This likely means that the online multiplayer elements will be more like a side activity and optional, with the main storyline taking the lead and being primarily solo experience. Or perhaps that's what VULKK wants to believe. The general manager, Casey Hudson, shared the following in a blog post. I'm quoting here. When I returned to Bioware last summer, that's 2017, Mass Effect Andromeda had just been released, and there was a significant movement among players asking for a story DLC that would answer questions related to the Quarians in the game. As you know, we were not able to deliver story DLC for Andromeda, and this was as frustrating for us as it was for players, and it was something that we knew we had to solve in future games. It's in that spirit that we are working through production on Anthem, a game designed to create a whole new world of story and character that you can experience with friends in an ongoing series of adventures. It will be unlike anything you've played, but if we do it right, we will feel very distinctly Bioware style. End of the quote. 2 of the possible class or roles that we've seen in the video will be the well-balanced and all-around player called the Ranger, and a heavily armored tank like Colossus Javelin. Each Javelin exosuit will be equipped with different and unique weapon slots and abilities. The customization will come from gear pieces and upgrades that you loot and craft. The gameplay demo from last year also showed one of the global events that will be able to alter and shift the world in various ways. These things are called Shaper Storms. Many claim that Anthem will be a Destiny clone. I personally am not able to confirm or deny such possibility as I've never played the Destiny games. The gameplay demo gave me an impression that it might be quite similar to Andromeda though. The gameplay feels and looks familiar. The gearing elements in Andromeda I think were well implemented and the crafting system was not too bad. The materials gathering process was tedious and desperately boring, but the crafting process was interesting and complex enough for an action game. EA already announced that they are not giving up on the microtransactions implementations in their games, and Anthem is likely to feature them as well. It is rumored that one of the leading reasons for the game's delayed release date is the fact that it was also stuffed with microtransactions in a similar style like we saw in Star Wars Battlefront 2 last fall. But following the disaster of the later game, EA decided to rework Anthem's progression system and exclude the microtransactions from it to a point where the community would tolerate them. EA has been skipping the official E3 events since 2016 in favor of their own EA Play press conferences or keynotes. The timing, however, coincides with the early E3 event, which is coming soon, and Bioware is scheduled to appear in it with Anthem. It is likely that we will hear and see a lot of new details and perhaps even a target release window, if not an actual date. I know that many have already proclaimed this to be Bioware's last chance before EA closes them down too. EA unfortunately has the habit of consuming good studios and later disbanding or mixing them with other studios under their hood. Fresh example for that was Visceral, who were working on a single-player role-playing Star Wars game. The publisher was not happy with the direction this game was taking and the absence of the possibility to turn it into a service after release. With Anthem and Bioware, the case may not exactly be the same because we know the studio is also working on the next Dragon Age, the fourth game in the series. However, when we factor in the disaster that Mass Effect Andromeda was last year, not such a bad game, but it was released in a horrible state, unfinished, and it also couldn't live up to the expectations, being a Mass Effect title. So all of this levels the field and brings a dangerous giant dark cloud above the developers' heads. It is clear that for the development of Anthem, a lot of resources have been pulled out of other games. Star Wars The Old Republic and Star Wars Battlefront 2 are just two of the games, good examples, that seem to be suffering from lack of support and funding. Whether Anthem is successful or not, we're about to find out, hopefully from the upcoming weeks and months when more details are being revealed, before and after the E3 event. And of course, you can learn everything you need and want about the game if you follow everything that's posted on VULKK.com or if you keep watching the videos on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to leave a like and let me know what your thoughts are about the game in the comments below the video. If you enjoy my content, consider becoming my patron, I would very much appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for watching, I hope you have enjoyed the video.